Hello, my name is Teresita Blanco, the Artsy sister, and today we're reading Saturnastra, Chicot. This is chapter 26, A Unique Opportunity. The summer months came, and with it the war season officially began. Chicot felt it was as good a time as any to attack the supply wagons. They would be a good source of raw materials. The briefing was done in the basement. It was the only room large enough to hold a council with our 500 guards and 85 martial civilians. Also joining us were 100 former soldiers who had been allowed into the town during the refugee crisis. These new men were eager to make a quick buck. They heard rumors of Lord Jean-Antoine's wealth and strategic planning. They also knew he was quite a successful former highwayman. Chicot had a rumor that Berthame was dying. He had less than a year to live. The chaos that would soon follow after the king's death would provide Little Sophia with a unique opportunity. By attacking the supply lines, we would be able to multiply our stocks 10 times fold. And it would also have weakened our neighbors, who would look to Little Sophia as an easy target. Pointing towards the map, Chicot said, "As of now, King Berthame is marching towards the Diaphalan territory. When he gets there, his fate will be sealed." "How can you be certain that he will die as a result of this battle? And doesn't that place belong to him?" asked Alberando's questioning Chicot's intelligence. How I am getting this information is none of your concern. What matters is that we must attack these routes to raid the supply wagons, said Chicot, pointing to several key areas in the Western Kingdom. "Ah, revenge is nice," said Alberandos, nodding in approval. "Call it what you will," said Chicot. At the end of the briefing, I said, "Why must we resort to looting? We have more than enough wealth for 10 lifetimes, and besides, if the entire continent is entering the Kingdom of Lara, shouldn't we reinforce our defense? What if something happens when you're gone?" "This has nothing to do with money, Joseph," said Chicot, "and relax, nothing bad is going to happen. We will be gone just 6 months tops." "Just to tell me, how long are we going to do without the guards?" I said, alarmed. "For starters, we have a small mercenary company who is going to be staying put, while the rest of us go. And I am also going to be riding out with my personal guard, just to be safe," said Chicot. "I guess Alvis is going to be handling business for the time being," I said sadly. Shaking his head, Chicot corrected me by saying, "He too is coming. You are staying behind, Joseph." "Why? I could be far more useful to you in battle," I complained. "Not everyone is cut out to be a soldier, Joseph. I need someone I can trust to handle my affairs," said Chicot, putting his hand on my shoulder. "I am both honored and humbled that you trust me with your wealth. Still, I would think that Alvis or Sir Richard would be better suited to this task," I said, declining the offer. "Not really. You are best suited to the task I am giving you. And I should be back before winter if all goes well," said Chicot. "What if it doesn't go well?" I said, pessimistic. "If things go badly, I will return home sooner. I'm not a big fan of suicide missions," said Chicot. The following day, Chicot and his personal guard and the other fighters headed out. He even took Gita and her sisters along with her mother. I was all alone, with not even the Sphinx Unla to keep me company. While I sat on in my desk, I noticed a letter from Chicot. This one was written in an unknown handwriting. This was quite strange, since I usually read all of his correspondence. The letter simply said, "If a large invasion army comes, ring the large bell we keep in my storage room. Keep ringing it while the fighting lasts. If you don't make it to the bell, go and hide." What Chicot had said left me with many sleepless nights. It felt as if he was predicting that something was going to happen the moment he left Little Sophia. 2 months passed without anything remotely interesting happening. It was as if my management was only symbolic. The employees that did not ride out into battle were pretty self-managed. There was rarely a need for me to interfere. As such, I naturally took care of the paperwork regarding our ventures, and I had a pretty good idea how Chicot would negotiate the contracts. One night I awoke because there was a deathly still silence. Not a sound could be heard in the entire house, and I was suddenly drawn from my bed by nimble, thin fingers. These hands dragged me under the bed. The door to my room was soon slammed open. I saw the boots of a soldier slightly illuminated by a torch. The warm body beside me said in a soft voice, "There are intruders in the house. We need to head for the basement." "What about my mother?" I asked, alarmed. "She's already there, barricaded inside with some of the others," she said. "We need to move fast." Based on her voice, I realized the girl was called Maria. Chicot claimed she was a nymph, though her eyes always maintained the same crystal clear gray eyes. She was calm and even in every new situation. Maria dragged me from the ground after the invaders finished ransacking my room. While making my way downstairs, I said, "Wait, we have to ring the bell." Chicot said it would be useful in such a time as this. "What bell?" said Maria coldly. "We don't have time for this." "You go. I am going to see if I can make it to the storage room," I said, heading outside. "The place is crawling with goons. You are never going to make it," said Maria harshly. Despite much of Maria's protestation, I made my way towards the garden. Like she had expected, I got captured the second I stepped into the gardens. I was accosted and stepped all over. I said in anger, "Who are you? What do you want?" "You want what is rightfully ours, little man," said one of the enemy. "Your lord made his money by pilfering wares from good honest folk. We feel it is only right that we return it to them," said another. "Bah, all I see are a bunch of looters. We let you poor starving bastards in, and this is how you repay us," I said, angrily, recognizing one of our soldiers. The soldier kicked me on the shin, and then he said, "I recognize you. You are the secretary of the little lord. You must know the insides and out of this place. Where does your boss keep his prized possessions?" "In the garden," I said, pointing towards the storage room. "Well, I'll be damned. No hidden rooms, no secret compartments. He just has all his treasure in the middle of the manor where everyone can see it," he said, surprised. Only I know how to open the door, so take me there," I said, trying to be clever. Unfortunately for me, I underestimated the intelligence of my captors. He quickly discovered the key in my person and thus went alone to Chicot's treasure room. They all gathered within, and I saw them take out the weapons, modules, and even the armors. I clawed closer while holding my sides to see if I could find a way to ring the stupid bell. The scene was quite massive, and it could only be rocked with a mace. I tried to make a run for it, but a bastard tricked me and laughed. One of the men came closer, and he pulled me by the hair. Based on his clothing, I could tell he was a priest of one god or another. He said to me, "This has nothing to do with money. Your people committed crimes against God by killing a high priest. Did you think your crimes will go unpunished?" Spitting in his face, I said, "What gods? Your gods are dead. You're just a man like any other." Like Chicot, I was finally branded a heretic. I fainted because of the pain. Alas, my captors would not grant me the freedom of sweet oblivion. While rising from my stupor, with blood pouring from my mouth, I laughed to erupted from my lips. And for reasons I did not understand, I found the entire situation quite laughable. I could not tell you if it was a result of the multiple blows to the head or a searing pain in my cheek. But I was suddenly experiencing what Chicot calls a deja vu. The feeling I felt made me feel a sudden ease. I knew with utmost certainty that everything was going to be alright. My laughter did wonders to unnerve the priest, and I closed my eyes for a second and then opened them, and I could see those wonderful myriads of light, those fragile tiny little bodies with butterfly wings. The sky seemed alive with no more sights and sounds, the likes of which I had never seen before. Just as quickly as this feeling overcame me, it went away, and I was alone in my grim reality. I do not know who rang the bell, but I do know full well of its effect. Chicot was a man of many secrets, and he was also fond of setting traps. And as he later explained to me, he had left with his main troops with the sole purpose of unmasking the traitors around him. Yes, he knew that he would be betrayed. He knew that he would let enemy soldiers within, with the vain effort of hoping to loot him. The invaders who went to Little Sophia found the town more or less deserted, and from time to time they would engage a highly skilled lone soldier. And I should have listened to Maria and gone into hiding. The problem would have solved itself in due time. Chicot was not the type of man to make the same mistake twice. With the bell ringing, the night was filled with an icy chill. The high priest pointed towards the bell and he exclaimed, "That is a necromancy bell, the largest I have ever seen. Silence it before a horde of undead falls upon us." The area around me felt strange, like gushing water or sand. The sensation lasted only a second, and I felt the ground stirring behind, and two hands that burned like coals of fire closed my eyes to shield me from the chaos that would soon follow. And I heard the bodies being torn asunder around me, and the decaying specter placed a coat over my shoulders to protect me from the night air. And when I was finally allowed to see, the area around me was littered with corpses, and I could barely see the bodies, but I could smell the rotting carcasses. It was the stench of blood I was all too familiar with. A strong man clad in armor I did not recognize carried me back to the manor, as if I were a mere child. And I was too tired and wounded to protest, and while I was carried back to my room, I saw in the gardens a blonde maiden wearing the Sylvia armor. She was even wearing the armor in the same style worn by the doll, and the armor had a strange glow to it, even when it was tainted red by the blood of the fallen enemy. There was another man beside her wearing the Hernan armor. The two mysterious warriors had rung the bell and activated Chicot's revenants. Revenants were dead people who had come back to life. They only differed from ghosts in the fact that they were lucid and had a physical body. How these revenants were controlled by was a matter that Chicot never bothered to discuss. He claimed that the revenants were acting in accordance with their own free will. As for the bell, it was simply an alarm clock of sorts. When the revenants heard its sound, they would rise from their graves. I felt as if Chicot was just oversimplifying the matter, so to help me understand. Time, bro?
3 minutes.
Several weeks were spent sorting through the mess, and only the furniture had been seriously damaged. The looters were careful not to break anything that they considered valuable, or anything they liked. The looters that survived the night were forced to work to repair all things they had broken, and the entire process was overseen by the warriors clad in Hernan and Sylvia armor. And during this proceedings, I spent it in my bed healing, and my mother would not leave my side for even a moment. She was the most grieved by the horrible burn in my face, and I was also visited by Maria. She nursed me back to health with her green patience, and she helped me maintain my grip on my surroundings. Idleness and restfulness never did me any good, and while lying there, I kept thinking of the humans and how much I hated their false idols and their hypocrisy. I do not remember what I said, but I do remember my mother slapping me in my burned cheek and finally saying, "Your father was human, Joseph." I grimly looked away from her and said no more, and before she could return, I spent my time sleeping in my bed, and even though my wounds had healed, I could not summon even the energy to rise from my bed, and before the first snow of winter, Chicot was finally home, and everyone was more or less in one piece. I was surprised to see that Chicot looked more recovered, and he said, smiling at me, "It's over, Joseph. We are finally free." Alright, we're done.